Hi Insiders, I'm Daniel Pickett with ActionFigureInsider.com, and I'm here at the DC headquarters, which is super fun, with artist Nooligan.
Yep, go by Nooligan.
And he's got the second wave of the DC Artist Alley that you're all responsible for.
Yeah, for this particular one, yeah, I'm definitely in responsible for all the shoes and everything else here. Yeah.
Can you kind of talk about how you were first approached to come to this project?
So this is actually my second project with DC Collectibles.
Mm-hmm.
I also approached after San Diego Comic-Con, and I actually did design the bookends. That was Harley Quinn, Joker, and Batman tied to a bomb.
Right.
And then after that project was done, they asked me to be a part of this new line of stuff, which is the DC Artist Alley line.
So you were already a comic book fan coming into this.
Huge comic book fan. It's just and then I kind of but my style never really fit it, kind of thing. So I had to kind of just do, just to approach all these things with the love of what I love, all these characters, and I love comics and I love cartoons, and then just giving my version of all these different characters was my main thing for the longest time before somebody approached me.
So how do you then approach that, just kind of with your style, thinking, well, how do I translate that into these iconic characters?
I approach it from a classic perspective always, especially with DC. They're such old characters and classic characters, iconic characters, and so I approach these based off their history and everything else. So, I stem from a Jack Kirby, a Will Eisner, and Alan Moore, and then, all those different stories and stuff I grew up with, I kind of approach how I design these, and especially with cartoons. You're looking at Looney Tunes, and you're looking at the Fleischer Studios, and then encompassing all of that stuff, Milk Hall from Disney, and then putting all those things together and come up with something new, even though it's inspired by everything old, and then just kind of having a different approach and kind of creating a postmodern version of all those encompassing things makes this what it is now. But so it's basically just me and everything that I kind of loved when I was growing up, and then just adding up anything from updated clothing and making from the Nightwing figure to doing something more fun with everybody else. So, yeah.
So when you did the original designs, did you do turnarounds for them that they were handed off to Paul,
actually,
or did you just do kind of a static shot and you had to figure out the rest?
I think Paul's so talented that I really didn't have to do too many turnarounds. I think he got he was from the actual art of the box art and everything like that. He kind of built everything from that point. There was very few things that I needed to do, and usually he was so good at what he does that it was just a matter of just kind of sending him oh, how's the back of the hair gonna look, and then I would just really quick sketch and he got it. So it's he dealing with somebody who's professional as him was just easy. The whole team here very, very professional, very know how to do what they do. And I just kind of oh yeah, you need that, and it was very quick, very easy. Some of the best working professional situation I've ever been in.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then what is it like for you as a 2D guy to
Yeah.
suddenly, you're sitting here and here they are. They're in 3 dimensions and they're going to be in comic shops.
It's very surreal, especially because I've said before, I'm very, very humbling situation for me because I never expected to be here. It's for me it's very, I feel like an underdog that never belonged here, that kind of came up, and then now I'm part of something that I always wanted to be but never expected to be. I kind of made my peace with that, and then when this happens, it's a very cool moment, and sometimes I don't even know. I'm dang, I don't even know. Now I'm part of the history, which is really cool. So.
Yeah, it's funny, when you think about product and stuff, like when we were kind of growing up. The gatekeepers of this sort of thing always kept stuff very, very traditional. Yeah. But we're in this really fun age where they're willing to play with the different personalities of these things, and finding someone like you, it's just you look at that and you go, well, yeah, that's right there. There's you're printing money right there.
I see, and I think it's for me, just that being said, I want to say something. The DC Collectibles team is very innovative and forward thinking in that realm. Because like you said, most times they play it safe, and then you're not giving you usually when you make a product you have to have a backing, meaning it needs to be an animation, it needs to be in a comic, and a popular comic at that,
right?
Or it needs to be an artist that has been working so much that he became popular. And this is a situation where none of us are really, we're just distinctive in our own way, and I think that it was gutsy, and I think it was it's for me it's the most amazing thing ever, and it also encourages people that are like their own style, to be more open to continually being them. And I think that's awesome, and it's very, very inspirational to a lot of artists, especially nowadays,
Now, I read that when you designed these three, you did sort of think about how they would interact together.
Yeah,
Someone bought all three.
Totally.
Talk about that process.
So like we wanted them to stand together as a group, and that was the main core of the whole line, was to make sure they all kind of looked like they would be there together, in a scene or something like that. And then we can have Harley pointing at Batman. You can have Joker laughing at Batman. He can be Batman just like, oh man, this is not my favorite day, kind of thing. And then you had all these different things, and I think that they go really well together, especially when you put Joker and Batman in certain scenarios. You can see the fact that his disdained look on his face, also, like, it goes so well with Joker's expression, of joy and entertainment and and everything that he is. And I think that kind of just, they go so well together,
And now we know that there's a fourth character coming. You've got Nightwing.
Yeah.
So when you did Nightwing, did you think, well, how does he get added into that storyline?
Yeah, like and then I did that, but then also because he was a standalone Chase figure, I also wanted him to stand out as much as possible, from the other three. And then by doing that was kind of going away from his normal design, which everybody knows of. There's just a simple leotard with the thing, and I kind of wanted to see if I could push it a little bit further, and then add a jacket, add a hoodie, make it a little bit more postmodern, more like how today's fashion is and stuff. And then adding the nunchuck just makes him more cool. The expression on his face where he's kind of the more of a cocky look, which this fits Dick so well.
Totally.
So you're just kind of, and then it was kind of just pushing that envelope a little bit more, especially because I've already done the nose. Like, what else can I was like, well, I can push these things as far as I can, and that was the fun part of it, is just kind of like taking this approach where, I have nothing to lose. I can make these as much me as I can, and that's what I did. And then especially when you look at him, I did so much. I designed a back logo to his jacket. I designed patches. I designed, I kind of just did as much as I possibly could to make him my own. So, and I think he also stands alone, but he also goes really well with all of them, because it is just my aesthetic, so it works all around. And the shoes tie him all together.
Well, we got to talk a little bit about the shoes. Everyone wants to know what's the deal with the shoes.
I love the shoes. I've always loved Chucks. I think they're these.
Are you wearing that? Yeah. You're wearing them right now.
Yeah. So I think they're for me, they're just a classic look. And I think from all walks of life, from all different people, I think you can wear Chucks, and it's not a thing. Everybody can do it. And I love how they go in waves, and they're so old. They're over 100 years old, just the general style alone. And I just find them fascinating, how you can wear them to a wedding, but you can wear them to a funeral. And I think they go well with everything, especially the black and white. And I just love the shoe, and I love the history of the shoe. And I think, and then especially putting him in this situation, it just works. And these are like, they come from such a rich history of fun and everything, that they should be fun. And and I took this approach that they should be fun. And then I tried to make them as fun as possible, and that lightens the mood with the shoes, it lightens the mood with the socks, and takes away from like Batman's face, and makes it more fun. And I kind of approached it in that whole way, and I love how they came out. They did such a great job here.
So I noticed heroes get tube socks, villains get none.
Yeah, they don't wear tube socks. They ain't got time for that. So yeah, I kind of approached, like, it was kind of funny because, like, when you had these two, the Harley and the Joker, and they had such a kind of a cool look already, and then I wanted to see what else I could add to Batman that would make him a little bit more distinctive, especially me, because it's not like I can exaggerate his features as much. So when I approached the sneakers got cleared, and I just added socks, and I don't know, I was just like, this will be cool. It's like a whole like 70s, 80s thing, and I threw them on there, and then they got through, and I was like, I was shocked that they made it through, but it is one of those things that now makes them definitely me, so it's
totally
so much fun.
Yeah. I read an article the other day now that like the dad's big chunky white balance shoes are like trending now.
Oh, nice.
So you might have to make a change at some point.
There's tons of stuff. Big, I think I'll just keep
ugly dad shoes.
They'll probably go. The thing is, Chucks will go away and they'll just bounce back in another 10 years. So totally. It's kind of how like, if you look at it, that's how they went. They went from like, early on when they were made in 1917, and then they went from like not being as popular. Then the 50s came around, they were super popular. Then they went away, came back in the 70s and 80s, and then went away during the 90s, came back in 2000. So and then they haven't really done much, and I think that's I don't think they'll go anywhere, So. Especially when you look at, like, you watch the movie I, Robot, and they've made a whole thing about the Chuck Taylor still being a Chuck Taylor, even that one, like, whatever year that was, and I just find that to be fascinating. So I
don't know what I was thinking. I didn't wear them, but I actually own a pair of Chucks.
Everybody
that are that are superpowers.
Totally.
So there's it's all the heroes on one shoe and
that's
all the
awesome.
villains on another one.
Yeah.
They're great shoes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we've got some different variants that we want to talk about real quick. We've got the regular painted set, we have the black and white set, and then we have the GameStop exclusive Day of the Dead set. Did you have a hand in designing all the different variations?
Yeah, the black and white one was more so like their idea, and I just liked the idea because I was being a part of that black and white family that I've always loved those statues when they came out. So it was super cool. That was like their thing, and I really enjoyed that. And I was like shocked that they were even making different variations. The Day of the Dead was based off of some earlier artwork that I've done where I was playing with Day of the Dead stuff on other characters and stuff. It was like in my personal artwork. So it kind of just went hand in hand to try to do a variant based on that idea, because I find that there's something really beautiful about that whole culture and everything, and it looks really well, especially on them. It just looks great. So the different designs, all the painted skulls, everything, it just looks fun, and it goes really well, especially in like you think of it as like a Halloween type of thing, or even just an event. They just look great, and then they all have different little things. Even look at Harley's bats; they have little stickers.
Yeah, they've got different logos on their shoes.
Different logos and the shoes, and I did a lot to kind of make sure I added a lot in there.
And they're fun too. We have a set back at the ranch, so we have pictures, but they're designed 360 degrees. There's stuff, Batman's got wings on his cape, it's not just an applique on the front. You really thought out.
I thought out the whole design process of everyone, from like the X on the back of the jacket to the checkers to the overalls, the patches on the back. I kind of made sure I added as much detail as I can, and then I tried to push it as much as I could. So.
Well, wrapping up, one last question. Not asking you to reveal any trade secrets for any work you've done, but if you could pick any character in the DC Universe, hero or villain, to add to this collection, who would you pick?
Demon Etrigan.
Ooh, that's a strong. I like that.
Yeah, I love, like I said, I'm a big Jack Kirby fan. I've loved Demon Etrigan ever since I was a kid. So cool. And plus, I love the King Arthur background. Right. I love everything about like the Knights of the Round Table. I grew up on Arthur and stuff, so having that storyline be a part of that Arthurian Legends was awesome to me, and I really took to the demon, and I think I would do an amazing demon. So I would love to do him. I love all those characters.
Sure.
From Ted Grant to Boston Brand to Solomon Grundy to Gorilla Grodd. I love all those kind of cool, quirky characters.
Someone get this man a pad of paper and a pencil.
I love those characters. But yeah, Demon Etrigan would have been the one I would love to be a part of this.
So, I love it. Well, Nooligan, thank you so much. It was an absolute pleasure to meet you. Look for these in your comic shops and on online retailers right now in the month of September. They're available, and they're really, really awesome. Pictures of them don't really do them justice. See if you can get your hands on them, because really, like we just talked about, 360 degrees of fun, interesting, just concepts, characters, and ideas. So it was a real pleasure.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you to the gang at DC for having us, and we'll be back with lots more news, toy reviews, and all sorts of things on ActionFigureInsider.com.